I've been hit with paint, doused in spoiled milk, left speechless by blaring air horns, and so much more every single day. The world thinks it's funny, and maybe it is, from the outside looking in. But from my perspective, it's a never-ending nightmare. A nightmare that I was born into. And before you start with the "they're just pranks, bro" argument, let me tell you that when you're the victim of just a prank every day of your life, it stops being just a prank. It's psychological torture. Hey, yeah, that's me. Just to get you caught up on my story, my name is Jake, and my life has always been a bit, over the top, as you can see. You see, my parents are professional pranksters. Yes, you heard right, professional pranksters. Most kids get grounded or sent to their room when they misbehave. Me? I get an air horn blast at 3 a.m. or a surprise tarantula in my cereal. Ever heard of Smith's Prank Palace on YouTube? Of course you have. A couple in their 40s acting like a pair of teenagers on spring break. And their punching bag? Yours truly. Dad always said, humor keeps you young. But at the expense of my dignity, it didn't seem all that funny. To paint you a full picture, this is how my conversations with my parents usually go. Getting ready for our next big prank? You better sleep with one eye open tonight, winky face. Did I mention they have a strange obsession with emoji texts? I tell you, my life's one big joke. Literally. Oh, this is gonna be great! Our subscribers are gonna love this one! I just hope Jake remembers we do this out of love. And for views, of course. Yeah, love. That's what they call it. One day in middle school, I had my crush Lily coming over to work on a science project. I specifically remember pleading with my parents, no pranks today, okay? It's important. They'd given me their word. I should have known better. The doorbell rang. My heart pounded in my chest as I opened the door to Lily, a nervous smile on my face. Suddenly, there was a shower of sour milk from above, soaking us both. Lily, I stammered, horrified as she wiped milk off of her glasses. My parents popped out, cameras rolling, laughter echoing. Their apology video later that night garnered more views than the prank itself. This was it. I had it. The sour milk was my tipping point. Is YouTube more important to you than your son's dignity? I screamed at them, my face still stinging from the milk. We didn't realize it was that bad for you, John. Mom had stuttered. The camera's finally off, her face a mixture of surprise and concern. Now, I wish I could tell you that my life had gotten better after the sour milk incident, that my parents backed off with the pranks, or that I somehow turned into the most popular kid in high school. But nope. Instead, my life had turned into a living hell of never-ending embarrassment, courtesy of Smith's Pranks Palace. From Dad pretending to faint in the middle of my freshman orientation, their video titled, "Hilarious Prank at High School Orientation, Must Watch," 5 million views, to Mom barging into my chemistry class dressed as an alien, the video titled, "Crashing High School Class in Alien Suit, Epic Reaction," earned a trending spot. My high school years were a montage of mortification. But the worst part wasn't the embarrassment or the name-calling. It was the pity, the sympathetic glances from teachers, the awkward conversations with the school counselor. "How are you handling your home situation, John?" they'd ask. And so I became a bit of a loner, the prank palace boy who ate lunch in the library and avoided eye contact. And then there were the comments on YouTube. "Poor kid," they'd say, or "How does he put up with them?" And my personal favorite, "I'd die if I were him." Every ding of a new comment, every laughter-filled reaction video felt like a punch in the gut. But what could I do? They were my parents. They fed me, clothed me, loved me in their own twisted way. Now, you're probably wondering, how did I escape the constant eyes of the world? The answer is, I didn't. But I did get a change of scenery. In my yearbook, a sentence that still makes me laugh. Most likely to become a viral meme, written beneath my photo. The doors to college life swung open and I stepped through them, hoping to find an escape from my prank-infested past. I met Clara on the first day, an intro to psych. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen, with long blonde hair and a laugh that could light up a room. "Oh, you're the Prank Palace guy," she'd exclaim when we first met. "Your parents are hilarious." It was my past, not me, that drew her in, but I was too smitten to care. I mean, look at that smile. As we started dating, there were red flags, like when she insisted on video calling my parents, or when she constantly brought up their YouTube earnings. But love, as you see, makes you see things through rose-colored glasses, doesn't it? It was one of those nights. Clara and I were in bed, the moonlight streaming through the window. She was mumbling in her sleep, something she did occasionally. "Must get the money," she mumbled. It was followed by a soft snore. It sent a chill down my spine, but I brushed it off as just sleep talk. Over time, Clara started hanging out with Brad, the buff dude from our psychology class. She'd laugh at his jokes a little too hard, touch his arm a little too often, but every time I brought it up, she'd brush it off. "You're just being insecure," she'd say, her eyes not meeting mine. One night she came home late, reeking of Brad's cologne. That night, her sleep talk was a lot more telling. "Brad, no, John can't know. The money. We'll take the money," she muttered in her sleep. Suddenly, everything fell into place. The late nights with Brad, her interest in my parents' earnings. It was all a part of her plan. She wasn't with me because she loved me. She was with me for the YouTube money, the fame, the lifestyle. And now she was planning on ditching me for Brad once they got what they wanted. But they'd messed with the wrong guy. I was a Smith after all, the son of the world's greatest pranksters. If Clara wanted a prank, she'd get one. The prank of the century. The sweet nothings she murmured in her sleep now had a sinister edge to them. After another night of her rambling about easy cash and dumb pranksters, I finally decided to confront her. "Clara, we need to talk." My voice sounded hollow in the silent room. She looked up from her phone, a perfect eyebrow raised in question. "Is this about my sleep talking?" She laughed, a hollow, lifeless sound. "John, I can't control what I say in my sleep." "It's not just that, Clara. It's about you, Brad, and this plan of yours." Her face drained of color. "You're absolutely delusional, Jake," she yells at me. I pulled out a series of printed emails that I'd found on her laptop, my heart pounding as I slapped them down on the table. The subject lines read, "Future plans, revenue split, and leaked prank videos." "These are your email exchanges with Brad," I stated, trying to keep the tremor out of my voice. "You two have been planning to hack into my parents' account to take their unreleased prank videos, start a rival channel, using my parents' content and popularity to draw in viewers, and then you want to divert the ad revenue into accounts you two have set up." She sputtered, shocked into silence. I felt a grim satisfaction at catching her off guard. "Did you really think you could pull this off?" I asked, my voice hardening. "You're crazy, John! You can't prove anything! Those emails could be faked, you know?" she protested, but I didn't want to hear any of it. I spent the next few days assembling my evidence, the emails and screenshots of their secret bank accounts, and compiled them into a video. "Yo, Mike." I dialed my hacker friend, my voice trembling with a mix of rage and determination. "I need a favor." Funny how Clara inspired my hacking idea. Mike, a guy who could hack into any network while munching on his cheeseburgers, was my only hope. "I need you to hack into my parents' YouTube channel." Mike nearly choked on his burger. "Are you nuts? Dude, that's illegal." "I don't care! This is important. Can you do it or not?" There was a big silence on the other end before he finally sighed. "All right, man, I'm in. But remember, you owe me big time." With Mike's help, I uploaded the video to my parents' YouTube channel. It blew up. Gold Digger Exposed went viral. Millions of views until it got taken down by my parents. I took a deep breath, bracing myself as I hit the record button for the second time. This time, it wasn't to expose Clara or her nasty plans, but to expose my parents and the lifetime of humiliation they had subjected me to. "Hello, Internet," I began, forcing a smile. "John here. You might know me as the butt of the joke in many of my parents' prank videos." I paused, swallowing hard as I prepared to delve deeper. "What you don't know is the toll those harmless pranks have taken on me. My entire life, I've been subjected to a constant stream of humiliation and embarrassment. I've been laughed at, bullied, and mocked for my parents' content. I've been hit with paint, doused in spoiled milk, left speechless by blaring air horns, and so much more. Every single day. The world thinks it's funny, and maybe it is, from the outside looking in. But from my perspective, it's a never-ending nightmare. A nightmare that I was born into. And before you start with the "they're just pranks, bro" argument, let me tell you that when you're the victim of just a prank every day of your life, it stops being just a prank. It's psychological torture. I uploaded the video with a lump in my throat. It didn't take long before the internet exploded. My confession resonated with a lot of people. They saw the emotion, the trauma that I had gone through, and the support messages started pouring in. As for my parents, their response was less supportive. They were livid. They uploaded a response video on their secondary channel, claiming that I was blowing things out of proportion, that they were just having fun, and that I was trying to smear their reputation for sympathy. What they didn't expect was Clara suing me for invasion of privacy. Order! Order in the court! The judge's gavel boomed through the packed room as Clara's lawyer pointed at me, his voice ringing out with accusations. John intentionally sought to tarnish my client's reputation with false claims. I'd been prepping for this. My lawyer had drilled it into me. Stay calm, present your truth, and don't let them rattle you. But nothing could have prepared me for the way my heart pounded against my chest as I stood to defend myself. Your Honor, if I may. I locked eyes with Clara, her smug smirk a sharp reminder of why I was here. I simply made public the truth of Clara's intentions and the truth of my life as my parents' unwilling clown. Laughter rippled through the courtroom at my quip, but was quickly hushed. Clara's lawyer jumped to his feet, but the judge waved him down. The evidence is clear, Your Honor, I continued, scanning the faces in the room. I turned to look at my parents, sitting stiffly, their faces pale. I'm not a gold mine for you to exploit, nor a plaything for your amusement, I addressed them, ignoring the collective gasp that echoed in the room. And Clara, your plans to profit from my life at my expense are over, I announced, meeting her eyes. She shifted uncomfortably, and for the first time, I saw a crack in her confident facade. But even with the truth out, the court ruled in Clara's favor, because in the eyes of the law, she did not take her plan to the end. I exposed her before it got too far. As I pushed open the courthouse doors, I was bombarded with camera flashes and a crescendo of voices. Microphones were shoved towards me, each reporter wanting their exclusive bit. Any comments about the verdict? A reporter hollered, elbowing his way to the front. I chuckled, running a hand through my hair. You know what? I'm good. Justice may be blind, but the parents aren't. So yeah, I lost in court. But look around. I gestured to the crowd, their eyes fixated on me with a mix of awe and respect. I won in the eyes of the people. Applause rang through the crowd, whistles punctuating the air. John! 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 They chanted, my name rising and falling like a wave. The next question cut through. How do you feel about your parents' reaction? The counter video. That was something. Honestly, I think it just proves my point. They're so wrapped up in their fame, they don't see the harm they've done. John, what will you do now? Another question rang out. What will I do now? A slow grin spreading on my face. I'll live, without pranks, without humiliation, and certainly without gold diggers. I'll live for myself. As I stepped into the waiting car, the chants of my name followed me, a triumphant anthem that filled the air. For the first time, I felt heard, seen, validated. I may have lost in the courtroom, but in the court of public opinion, I was a hero. I was finally free, and damn, did it feel good.